What's up, guys? I'm Mike D'Antonio, founder and CEO of StockedUp, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have an amazing episode for you guys here today. We had a lot of important news come out over the weekend that can have a huge impact on the market. We're going to be talking about how coronavirus cases are spiking, and some states are, they're considering closing back up again. We are talking about how U.S. banks are swimming in money, and they have a lot of money being deposited, which does affect the economy. Then we're going to be talking about Intel and Apple news and how they're breaking up after 15 years of partnership. Then we're going to move into some momentum plays for this week. And then we're going to go over a very important $7.7 million option that expires this week. And then we're going to answer all of your guys' questions. So I highly recommend you guys watch this video to the end. There's a lot of important news that we're going to be going over, as well as a couple really good plays that we are watching out for this week. So if you guys are new here, we would really appreciate it if you hit that like button and subscribe so you can see our daily videos on your homepage every single day. But with that being said, Tom, what went on over the weekend?
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of news over the weekend. Coronavirus cases are spiking. There's a ton of articles coming out about that. Alabama's really worried about their numbers, having 29,000 total cases in Alabama alone, which is huge just for one state. And then during Trump's rally on Saturday, he actually said he had asked officials to slow down the coronavirus testing so we don't show such negative numbers in the news and stuff, which is kind of funny because we just have more tests than everybody else. So of course we're going to have more people, with the virus because we're testing everybody. So
right. Yeah, that's a big thing. Like, some of these states or countries or wherever, some of these people have worse growth of the coronavirus than us, but they're just not testing. So that's interesting to know. And then also with the banks too, Tom.
Yeah, U.S. banks are swimming in money right now as deposits increased by $2 trillion amid the coronavirus. The government has actually unleashed hundreds of billions of dollars to bolster small businesses and people with the stimulus checks, as we know. And that's really what's fueling all these deposits into the banks because all the small businesses, they obviously have bank accounts as well as people's individual bank accounts. So all that coronavirus stimulus money is going right into the banks for these people. A lot of people are saving their money, it looks like, which is probably good for the people, but that's bad for the economy. That's not what you want to see with the economy.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with all the money being deposited, that it definitely affects the economy because, there's something called the velocity of money in economics. And, the more money is being exchanged, the more it's being used and moved around and spent and all that, it's better for the economy because they're just saying, one man's spending is another man's income. And when everyone is just saving, it kind of cuts off the economy, and that's not a good thing. So generally, that's kind of bad news, but I don't think it's horrible news. I don't think that's going to crash the markets or anything, but it's just interesting to note because everyone's saving, and that should tell you a lot about, what everyone's kind of feeling right now in this market. They're kind of scared. They're just uncertain. So
yeah, definitely. They're really scared to get in for the long term right now, which I think is really going to hurt the markets in the short term.
Yep. And then also with Intel too.
Yeah, that's been amazing right now. This news came out on Intel where they're actually going to cut off their partnership with Apple after 15 years. And pretty much Apple's went ahead and said that they're going to work on their own processors to replace their own with, or to replace Intel's with. So Apple right now has been using Intel processors for about 15 years, and they're going to pretty much just within a few months to a year, I guess, start to fade out Intel and start to put in their own processors that they've really been working on. And that's a big slash to Intel right now. They look pretty bad on the chart. They've been bleeding, and they're sitting right on this 100 SMA, which is a pretty key technical. And it looks like that they're going to fall right below it. And if they do, I could see them really falling on this news because that must be a big account with those MacBook computers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised Intel didn't fall more than we saw. You know what I mean? I kind of would have expected Intel to fall more on this news, but who knows? Maybe this will just be kind of a slower moving play. I'm just kind of surprised.
Yeah, because it's probably going to be more of the long term than the short term, I would guess, because I'm guessing that they'll they probably still have contracts with them, and once those expire, then they'll probably fade into their own processors.
Right. Well, I mean, on the bright side, I mean, that's should be good for Apple. You know what I mean? Like they'll save a lot of money paying Intel now, and
Yeah, I would think so too. The only thing that might hurt them is just cost, manufacturing them in the beginning. That might be the only thing. But look at them. They're stepping up and they're monopolizing themselves more than they already have. So
right.
it's a good business model. So
Yeah, true. I mean, the only thing I think that could kind of screw this up for Apple is like if their processors aren't as good as Intel's. But like honestly, if Apple, which is over $1 trillion company, I'm sure they have it figured out.
yeah,
So
they definitely have it figured out, and they had to have went through the testing. I know Tim Cook is a pretty smart guy, and he's definitely helped out a lot of people. So I think he's definitely a guy who will. He's kind of like an Elon Musk of like the tech world with Apple. So
yeah,
Tim Cook's the CEO of Apple, if you guys didn't know, and he's a very good CEO, obviously. And look at Apple's growth over the past few years here. This is
yeah.
just fantastic growth, and I mean, you just don't see growth like this all the time. So, fantastic growth, and they're definitely not going to put out a bad product, especially with processors.
Right, for sure. And then for the momentum plays for tomorrow. So, guys, I'm about to list out 4 different plays. These plays are momentum plays, and the first one is American Airlines. Pretty much how we look at this is American Airlines was down on Friday, and we are looking for this downward momentum to continue. So, for example, Tom, what level would we be watching for American Airlines to break below tomorrow?
You should watch right below around 1540. They hit that during the day Friday.
Yeah, so pretty much, guys, if American Airlines breaks below 1540, we'll be looking at American Airlines in a bearish sentiment, meaning, maybe buying puts, maybe shorting the stock, something like that. We're just looking for the momentum to continue. These are meant to be day trades, but sometimes people swing trade these, meaning that they hold them. But, we had a lot of good momentum plays last week. Next one is EXAS. And then what are we watching?
Yep, watch for them to go ahead and break $90.60.
All right. So if it breaks above $90.60, we'll be looking at it in a bullish position. So American Airlines was going down. EXAS is going up. So we would be looking at calls. Next one is WBA.
WBA, watch for them to break 44.50 on the dot. That they look very solid. Key bounces off the 1000 SMA as well. I really like this play, and they look like they consolidated on the 500 also. So good technicals.
Yeah, for sure. And then the last one, we have GILD, Gilead.
Oh, Gilead. Oh, wow. Look at that. Gilead had a nice day on Friday. Watch for them to break $78. That's awesome.
Yeah, $78. This one, again, is to the upside. And these what do you call them? Like pharmaceutical stocks go crazy. Like I remember like when the cases were initially surging, like this stock was just going crazy. Like honestly, like it still is going crazy. I mean, some of the candles on this chart are just kind of like amaze me. Like it'll like gap all the way up to around 84. I'm looking at April 29th, Tom, and it'll close down and it'll gap all the way up again to the next day on April 30th. And I don't know, it's just like a very, very volatile stock. So like it's kind of hard to trade, but momentum is momentum.
Yeah,
So,
didn't they have a lot of stuff regarding the virus?
oh yeah, big time. They were like one of the leaders. The next one was mRNA, Moderna.
Yeah, Moderna. I remember them. They were one of the more recent ones. It seemed like the Gilead was more of like right whenever the virus started, they had a lot of momentum, but it looks like all these stocks kind of popped on Friday. So maybe it's just maybe as we see more like spikes in the coronavirus cases, then these health stocks will also spike.
Exactly. And then at the same time, you would think that the market would fall. So
Yeah, definitely.
yep. And then guys, so for the $7.7 million options trade for tomorrow, guys, like I'm telling you, this play looks good. I'm not, I wouldn't put the bank on it, but how everything looks right now, this looks like a really, really solid play. I'm looking at Apple 340 strike puts that expire this week, June 26th. This play looks really solid. has about $7.7 million worth of unusual options activity put into it. I'm looking at the chart, looks solid. You have the news with Intel that can possibly affect it. But then on top of that, the possible market correction for the short term, and then Apple was down on Friday. Like honestly, this play looks pretty good to the upside. So I'm really, really considering buying the Apple 340 strike puts that expire this week, June 26th. I did not make a move yet. But it looks pretty good right now. Had about $7.7 million put into it. And then on top of that, there was it's very close to the money and it's cheap. So it looks pretty solid in my opinion.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm definitely probably going to watch this as well. If I see any type of movement to the downside in pre-market Monday or just downside movement at all, I'll definitely get into those puts as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm really tempted by this one, but I'm not going to make any moves yet, but I'm really, really looking at it. So now we're gonna answer everyone's questions from the previous episode. So we have JW saying, "Don't force a trade," and he said, "For me, a boring day is an opportunity to organize my closet." So I mean,
Awesome.
I like that. You know what I mean? Like I respect that. I would rather have you do that and walk away from the market than sit at your computer like, oh, this trade looks really good, or you know what I mean? Like if the market's going crazy, go find something to do, go do whatever. But this is just me speaking from personal experience. Sometimes it's better for your bank account to when you just walk away from your trading screen. If the market's weird, you don't force a trade. Yep. And now with the next question we have, let's see. Next question we have RK saying Tesla closes a 3-year deal with Panasonic. Panasonic stock, I'm going to take a nap. I never even heard about that, Tom.
I did actually hear something about it. Let me look up their stock right now. Hang on. Yeah. I'm going to get Panasonic's ticker real quick. Oh, they're actually in the OTC. It's PCRFY. Okay.
Wait, what is it again?
PCRFY.
What?
Yeah, but they are $9 a share, but they're in the OTC market, which is strange. But they must have like very minimal shares or something comparable to other companies. Yeah. But that's odd. That's very weird news to hear about them though, and you can see how bad it looks like they've had pretty bad reactions on their chart as well.
Yeah, that is weird. When did this news come out? Do you know? I didn't even hear about that.
I heard about it on Friday whenever I saw it, but I'm not too sure.
Huh. Oh, well. Well, I guess that's one reason maybe not to trade OTCs. Let's see. We have GT saying, I'm definitely going to buy some calls for Snap tomorrow. They've been doing a great run, and I don't believe they will be affected by any Corona-related news. So he said this on Friday. So yeah, I mean, Snap's doing really good. What do you
it looks great. Like it's bouncing off this 100 SMA like perfectly, like just nonstop. You can see ever since it started going up.
Yeah, I mean, here, can you draw like some technicals on it real quick for all the viewers? Let's see.
Let me make this a little larger here for you guys.
Sure.
There we go.
Okay. Yep. So what is that, like a wedge, Tom?
Yeah, this is kind of like a bullish wedge, and you can see it going up here. But the thing is that you just have to make sure that it breaks 2270 before you get in. If you do get in on Monday, I would not get in right away, because if it does end up falling out of this wedge, it's definitely going to fall out, and it could easily fall all the way down to like 2120 within one day, based off of this movement to the upside.
Absolutely. And then we have Jen saying informative and educational as always. So thank you so much for that. And then with the next question, we have Dave saying, any insight with Apple with WWDC 2020 next week? Should prices increase even temporarily intraday? I mean, honestly, I am pretty neutral on the market right now, but slightly bearish, and that's including Apple, and especially with the unusual options activity that I saw come out. I'm not like extremely bearish on Apple right now, but if anything, I am bearish on Apple. So we'll keep that in mind. And the main reason is because of the market overall right now. A little bit because of the Intel news, we saw that drop on Friday, and then it was this unusual options activity. I think that with all of that, I feel like Apple's just kind of due for a correction anyways. And my bearish sentiment is only going to continue like if we see more down momentum on Monday from Apple. Like if Apple's up, if it breaks like the 354 level again on Friday, then I'm going to know that all of the reasons I listed aren't affecting the stock, and then I'm just going to walk away.
Yeah, and this candle right here is really crazy. And if it falls below these levels here, it could easily fall the whole length of this weird candle that we're seeing.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if that's a glitch or like a flash trade, because sometimes those happen. Like when these institutions trade in after hours or like with their algos and all that, sometimes you get weird candles like that. But sometimes on the brokerages, sometimes those candles are just glitches. So
it looks like there actually is some volume down here at the bottom of the chart. So
yeah,
maybe it was an actual trade.
Yeah, we'll see. With the next question we have, let's see. What are your guys' thoughts on ONTX? Take a look. Oh, penny stock. So we don't really trade penny stocks like this, Andrew. But if you want to, I mean, it looks like it's like a slow mover. It has a little bit of momentum, but we just don't really trade stocks like this.
Yeah, it does actually kind of look like it has a little bit of momentum to it.
Yeah. And then we have David saying thoughts on GLD. It closed pretty well, and it broke out of a long canal that last hour. Let's see. So GLD.
Yeah, it looks really good. I like it to the upside a lot. I mean, it looks really good in after hours, and it's obviously going to follow gold, and gold generally goes up whenever the market goes down. So that's why GLD went up on Friday.
And you know what? Since we're seeing, actually, no, never mind. I was going to say, since we're seeing gold at record highs, or GLD, it's not at record highs, but it's pretty close. GLD is. Gold futures are not at record highs right now, but you look at a gold futures chart, Tom. I mean, that's a pretty big green candle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And here's the monthly chart, but let me go back.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't looking at. I was just looking at a 6 month, but yeah.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, there's definitely a solid green candle, and it looks like they're really close to breaking out of their highs. I remember I was trading gold futures a few years ago, and I could never even imagine that they came all the way up to $1,700 by now.
Should have held them, right?
but I'd have to keep rolling those over, and futures are real expensive.
Yeah, true. Next question we have. Let's see. We have Jesus saying, anyone playing puts on Intel in the news about Apple dropping them from chips? So yeah, we definitely covered a lot about this in today's video. To answer your question, I mean, Tom and I are bearish on both of them right now, but that can change Monday. Yeah, because futures didn't even open up yet. So we don't know if we're going to see a gap up, gap down, whatever. But yeah, keep that in mind.
Yeah, and I also still like Intel for the long term. It's just that I'm going to get in a lot lower if they do end up falling off this news. I'll get in a lot lower, like around like 48, 44, or even 52 if I see like a solid bounce off of a support somewhere.
Right, absolutely. Let's see. So we have Max saying, guys, great channel. I have recently subscribed and I've been enjoying your daily videos. Quick question. I really like how your Thinkorswim charts look and mine don't look nearly as nice. Would you share your chart appearance settings? So Tom, if you want to go ahead in the style.
Yeah, definitely. You just have to go up here to like settings. And then what you have to do what?
It's in the appearance right there, right? No, go, yep, right.
Yeah, I know. I just had to go to settings and then appearance, and then you just have to go ahead and change all of these colors here. Or, sorry, I don't say colors right, guys. And Mike always definitely gives me a hard time about it. So, yeah, my colors right here, I have like a brighter green than usual, and I have a red. And keep in mind that you have to click the fill up and fill down check marks as well, so that it fills the candles, because I believe that standard TD Ameritrade has these candles open, don't they?
I think so too.
Yep. Yeah, so you definitely want to change the color right here to like a brighter green and a brighter red, and then just change your check marks. And then also right down here at the bottom, you can change the background, I believe, and make it black. Where do you change the background? Actually,
yep, the background, it's hard to see, Tom, but
it's right there because it's black. That's why.
Right, okay. Right. So yeah.
Yep, so see, I could make it white, And then if I click apply, now my chart looks kind of crazy. But if I
Oh,
go, I'll take it back to the nice black color I like. There we go.
yeah. Yep. So hopefully that answers your question, and great question. I'm sure a lot of other people had that. With the next question, we have, let's see, we have Arcana saying SPY will go up from coming Monday. So pretty much with our market sentiment overall, right now futures didn't even open up, but how it stands right now, I am slightly bearish. Like, I'm not fully bearish in the market overall. Last week was one of the most uncertain weeks that I can remember in like the past 5 years. With that being said, I think we are slightly bearish, right? The market can gap up 500 points today in futures, and that's fine. But as of right now, before futures open, it's literally, futures don't even open for about 5 more hours. We're in a Sunday afternoon right now. But given how all the news is right now with Apple and with everything, I think we are slightly bearish, right? Not fully, just more of like a neutral / slightly down. That's how I'm feeling. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I really like it. I really like how we broke the lows of last week, how we kind of went below these two key resistance points or supports right here around like 3,066 on the S&P. I really like how we're below that, and it looks really red to me. I'm actually more than slightly bearish, but the thing is that I always play it safe, guys. So I'm always waiting for that key price point for it to break. So if it breaks below, like if futures just start tanking tonight, I'm definitely going to be bearish on Monday, especially with the coronavirus cases spiking. And it looks like these tech stocks like Apple and them, they don't look too well on their charts either.
Yeah, I mean, look, if we see, I'm talking about like, I can honestly care less how futures open up today, because we're seeing
Yeah,
markets where
definitely.
futures gap up 1,000 points, and then that open, 30 minutes after open, now they're overall down 200 points. You know what I mean? Like, we're seeing crazy moves. So I can honestly care less how futures open right now. But I'm talking about like at the open tomorrow, if we see downwards momentum and like overall the market's down, I think we're in for a solid downtrend. If
Yeah,
not,
definitely.
then we still might have some uncertainty, but we'll have to see what happens. So Tom, with that being said, do you have any last minute stocks, options, anything for tomorrow?
No, I think that does it, Mike. Just definitely be careful out there, guys. This is not a time to force trade still, but there is a lot of potential to the downside. So keep in mind, watch those puts. Try to find some cheaper ones to play, and maybe you can get into some nice runners.
Absolutely. So awesome stuff, guys. I'm definitely going to be watching the unusual options activity, the Apple 340 puts that expired this week, June 26th, with about $7.7 million put into them. I'm pretty excited for that, but I'm not going to over leverage. I'm not going to enter heavy on it, and I might not even enter on it at all. Depends on how Apple opens up. With that being said, guys, if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe to see our daily videos on your homepage every single day. And Tom and I really, 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 really appreciate everyone who's been liking the video, sharing it, and commenting. The YouTube channel has been exploding lately. We gained like 7,000 subscribers this month alone. And that's mainly because of everyone who's liking, commenting, and sharing. So that really, really helps us grow, and we really, really appreciate it. We're very excited for the market overall this week. We had a very uncertain week last week, but especially if we could see a continuation down, I think we're in for a ton of opportunity. So with that being said, if you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. Other than that, thanks for watching.